Hi. Thought I'd explain some of those truths that I told about myself in the game, guess the lie and win a prize or whatever I called it. Find the lie and win a prize. So here we go. Number one, I watched a baby be born when I was 3. This is true, of course. My sister, my only younger sister, was born when I was 3. And so I wasn't in school. And I remember I sat underneath, on the pedal of the old Singer sewing machine. And I just sat there. I just sat under there and I watched these women coming and going, coming and going. And my mom was in bed and, she was crying and stuff. But I was probably scared too. But whatever I felt, if I was scared, it all went away when that little baby came out from under the covers. And and that's what I told for a long time. I said, Jody came out from under the covers. I thought I'd discovered how babies are born or whatever. They come out from under the covers. Number 2, I got drunk and smoked when I was 5. Well, now none of that was my fault, obviously, because I was 5. But I remember where I was in both cases. My older sisters, my 2 oldest ones, smoked at that time, and they gave me a puff off a cigarette, and I remember getting choked and coughing my head off. It was horrible. And that was the last puff off a cigarette that I ever took, so they might have done me a favor. And then the getting drunk part, obviously that wasn't my fault. There were a bunch of men there at our house, and I guess they were all drinking with my dad. And I don't know who gave it to me, and I don't know if it was beer or moonshine or what it was, but I remember staggering across the porch to try to get to the front door to get inside. And I don't know what happened then, probably went in and went to sleep. Number 3, I kissed a boy in the mouth, on the mouth, whatever, when I was 6. This was at school. We were having recess, and all the kids were behind the school building, and I don't know why we did it. I don't know, but this little boy and I, we just kissed, and his last name was Collins, and I married a Collins, but not him. So I think that's kind of interesting. Now, we lived behind the school building. My mom, if she'd been watching, she could have seen this. I don't know if she did or not. So, number 4, I got kicked out of school in 1st grade. That is true. I went for 2 weeks, and they kicked me out because I was 4 years old. And I think I enjoyed it for those 2 weeks. And then I didn't get to go again until I was 6, so 2 more years. And I don't know if I liked it then or not. I mean, it was a one-room school building. Everybody was there, my sister, my older sister, and family members, cousins, and things. So it's probably okay. Number 5, that was a lie. I'm not a fighter. I didn't fight with little girls when I was little. That's just not something I did. Number 6, I had hallucinations when I was 9. When I was 9, I took the DPT shot. And I came home, and I was okay that day, but the next morning I got up. It was a Saturday morning, I remember. And I got up, and I thought I was going to throw up, and I went over to this trash can, and I didn't throw up, and then I thought I was going to pass out, so I went and lay down on the bed. And then my sister was hollering for my parents, and my parents came running down the stairs, and it sounded like horses galloping down those stairs. And I thought in my head, and I knew better than this, but I thought in my head that Daddy was drunk, and he was chasing Mommy, and he was going to hurt her. So I was going to get up off that bed, and I was going to grab Mommy, and I was going to run out of the house with her. Of course, I couldn't even get up off the bed. But anyway, I started passing out at that point. The rest of my life, occasionally I pass out. And when I had my 4th child, her doctor said that if she was my 1st child, he wouldn't give her the DPT shot because I told him what happened to me. But she was my 4th child, and my other 3 had it, and it hadn't harmed them, so he gave it to her too. Number 7, I failed a test when I was 10. It's the only test I ever failed in my life. And the reason I failed it was that we had moved, and it was February when we moved, And they had finished a science book at that new school. And I didn't know anything about that science book, what it was. It wasn't the same book I had had. And so the teacher was going to give a test over the whole book. And I couldn't, in one night or whatever time I had, I couldn't read that whole book. And I couldn't really study. So the next day when the test came, there were about 6 or 7 of us that weren't finished when it came time for recess. And so everybody went out to recess but us. And the teacher set us around a round table. I don't know if she was thinking we could help each other. She didn't tell us that. Or what. I mean, I don't know why she didn't leave us separated. But she left the room. And I remember one of the little girls said, talking about me, she said, somebody should help her. But nobody helped me, and I wouldn't have accepted the help, even though I didn't want to fail. But the best part of this story is when the teacher gave me back my test, she gave me my 54, which was pretty good, really, if you think about it. But she wrote on the paper, not too bad not to have been in class. And I don't know if she realized what that did for me, but it just changed my whole perspective. I thought it was just the most wonderful thing that she had done to try to comfort me when I had failed a test. And she must have thrown it out because I made straight A's the whole time I was there in 4th grade and the rest of grade school. So anyway, that's it. Those are the truths, and that's how they came about. Thank you all. Bye.